Protecting yourself online and stalkers. And so I have a panel of esteemed guests, and I will allow them to introduce themselves and their areas of specialty. And I'll get out of the way and let them get started. So, and Rath's moderating.
Let's go ahead and start, and we'll kind of go down the line, and everyone kind of introduce themselves.
My name's Jim. I'm on the panel, I think, because I'm a private investigator. I've been working in the investigation field for about 20 years, and one of my specialties is online harassment, stalking, all that kind of stuff.
My name is Saladin Ahmed. I'm a fantasy author, most recently of Throne of the Crescent Moon. I'm pretty active online, Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff. So while I haven't been stalked per se, done a lot of thinking about kind of how much you share online and what it gets you into. So
Rath James White. I'm a horror author. I write extreme, gruesome kind of stuff. So I've had some interesting experiences through the years. So we'll get into that later.
Jim Hines, fantasy author, and kind of like Saladin, blogging, Twitter, Facebook, talking about some topics like sexism, sexual assault, all of this social activism stuff that does bring out the weirdos. The other thing I wanted to mention while I have the microphone is that unlike these other authors who were very prepared for the weekend, I sucked and did not bring any books. So, because I've already been asked many times, if anybody is interested, just email me after the convention and I will mail you book plates and feel very guilty and silly about it. So, thank you.
I'm Nyad Monroe. I am a speculative fiction writer of short stories, and I started editing anthologies. And I only have one real stalking story, but it's pretty interesting. So so I'm all over the internet though, and like Saladin, I've given some thought to what kinds of things I should say and not say. So I think I might have some things to say on this topic.
Well, on that note, what I'd like to do is kind of, before we get into how to protect yourself and what things you should and should not reveal about yourself online, let's talk about some of our worst, most bizarre, perhaps frightening, perhaps funny, interesting stalker / identity theft / experiences we might have had online. And why don't we go ahead and start with you?
Okay, well, the stalker thing that I have had in my life is only a spillover stalker thing because my ex-brother-in-law had an affair with a woman, and she got obsessed with him and then started stalking him through friending and following all of the people connected with him. And so this woman started talking to me, but she didn't say anything weird, and she was just really friendly. And then I got this note from the ex-brother-in-law saying, okay, I can see that this woman has followed you, and here's the situation, and she's been messing with my life and telling people strange things about me, and so just be careful with her. And the thing is, though, she has never said anything weird to me, so I don't know what to do about this. I haven't been particularly friendly towards her, but I haven't been distancing myself from her either, because I think it's kind of unfair to walk away from someone who has not done anything directly to me. So I don't really know how to handle that situation. So basically, whenever she talks to me, I'll give her a brief and basic answer and move on and not really try to engage any further.
Can I throw something in there?
Sure.
The one thing about social media is that I think we have, and it's because it's promoted, this idea that it's supposed to be open and free and available to everyone. If you change that thought and kind of treat it like your home, and only welcome the people in that you would welcome into your home, and think that you do have all the rights to kick someone out of your own home. And that's how I kind of approach it. Granted, there are, as an author, you do have to make some allowances you wouldn't perhaps normally make, But just like if you were having a party and you were having all these people come over, at certain points, some of those people will be kicked out of your house. You know, they get too drunk, belligerent, so on and so forth. You're perfectly free to kick them out of your house.
It's weird because I feel like I absolutely would block and dismiss anyone who is directly like that to me. I haven't seen the actual evidence, and who knows, maybe he's trying to, you know, tell lies about her for some reason, you know, and I mean, he seems like a nice guy, although definitely has issues with cheating on people and, you know, having weird situations come up in his life. I will leave that to Christy to discuss.
Edit that out.
But anyway, so it's a weird line. You know, you have to know exactly what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not, and you have to be very clear when dealing with stalkers in giving a direct answer. You know, if they start doing something that you don't like, you tell them to stop it, and then you disengage altogether.
Or just click on the button that says block.
Block, sure. But yeah, I want to tell people somewhat to give them a chance, you know, one chance to stop doing that stuff. Because then you're teaching them something instead of just perplexing them. You know, they may or may not realize that they're doing inappropriate.
I mean, you know, and yes, it is good for them to get the clue and have some feedback and stuff. But I also think that's the second priority.
True.
The
Your
first
own
priority
safety,
is you.
Right. Yeah. Your own safety and comfort is very high. So I agree.
Yep.
I've been online since I think like 1998, maybe 99, I don't know. It was, you know, hand coding HTML onto GeoCities and and it had a starry background and an animated dragon GIF flying across the screen. It was awesome. And I was nobody. You know, nobody knew who I was. I had a web page that maybe 10 people saw. So it was a mix of everything. It was, hey, I'm going to write this book and be rich and famous. And also, here's a picture of my cat and I started putting up a couple of photo galleries of the family, and this slowly grew over time. Because, okay, yeah, now my parents, my relatives, they can check in. And there was no Facebook, so they could come and see my kids and see all of that. And it just, you know, gradually grew, and I started selling a few books, selling a few stories, and okay, yay! And just that same web page evolved a little bit. The dragon went away. It was very sad. And then one of these days, I'm just going online and in my very sort of naive way thinking, okay, it's only maybe so 40 or 50 people who come in. Most of them are people I know. And I get this email. Dude, I was looking through your pictures and stuff. Your daughter's hot. My daughter was 7. And so all of the pictures came down 2 minutes after the email had been read. Those were down. I spent a fair amount of time saying, okay, where did this come from? Who is this guy? Where's the IP address? Okay, ping this. Where are you? You're in Australia. Good. And these days, I have started putting some pictures of my kids back up again, but it is done with their knowledge and consent, with my wife's knowledge and consent, and with different names. You know, we talked about this as a family, and it's like, okay, Daddy gets some unpleasant people on his website from time to time. What are we comfortable with here? You know, this is a part of my life. I like sharing my life. Your life is yours. And I'm proud of my kids. I love them. I love showing them off and talking about them. I could spend the rest of this panel babbling about them. But giving them some control, giving them some choice, and also setting it up so that they know anytime you change your mind, I've got all these photos here, they can come down like that. And so far have not had other creepy pedophile comments yet. But yeah, that was probably